testosterone, we have a problem.
This is Outside the Manosphere, where two guys with zero credentials dive past the cliches of masculinity and try to become better friends by actually talking to each other. It's weirdly hard, but we're doing it anyway. Join us.
Welcome to Outside the Manosphere. I'm Skip.
And I'm Carlos.
How are you doing this week, Carlos?
I'm doing great, man. How are you?
I'm all right. Yeah, it's been a pretty normal, natural week. Got some good stuff coming up, so excited about that. We were talking offline, and I don't know if you want this to be on the podcast, but I was interested in talking about your work. You've said you've been having some run-ins with death that I don't know. If you wanted to talk about it, I'd be open to hearing it.
I'll tell you about it real quick. I'll probably not put it in the show, but
okay.
Just a couple of. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
So death is pretty normal. Like it's
yeah.
Like whether you arrive and they're dead or they're in the process of being dead. Yeah, just this week and like last week, we arrived on scene to another unit already doing like chest compressions and stuff, trying to bring a guy back, and he wasn't going to survive. It was clear, but like you just hear in the other room, because it wasn't our call, we were just there to help out. But you hear in the other room, because it's all so fast, man. Like this person had a heart attack, they called an ambulance, and we're there on scene for 20 minutes before we call a doctor to say, hey, this is where we're at. We're recommending we stop CPR. What do you think? And then they're like, okay, did you do this? Yep. Okay, yes. Call it at this time, whatever. And so they did all that, and you could hear the family in the other room just like, oh man, it's upsetting.
Yeah,
just like you can hear them react, and it's really sad. And then we had one that was our call a few days ago, and it was same thing. I mean, they're not young people necessarily, but it can be. But anyway, it's just sad because these people aren't expecting it. You know what I mean? Like who expects to be dead that day? And this one just stuck in my head, and I've just been not carrying it with me, but I was analyzing it the other day. I was like, I've been feeling off, like ever since the last one. I've just been feeling like I can't get comfortable, and I realized it, I have not come down from fight or flight mode. Like I've been in fight or flight mode ever since that last call specifically. And once I realized that, I was like, I just felt better. I'm like, that's what's wrong. Right. I'm still amped up.
Put a figure on it. Yeah.
Yeah. I couldn't figure out what's wrong. Something's wrong with me, and I couldn't figure out what it was. And I'm like, this is not good. I should be able to shake this off a lot easier, but it's on my back. And that's what it was. I hadn't come down yet, and I feel a lot better now.
Okay.
And yeah, that's all it was. It was just I just you were read me how's the job? I'm like, oh my God, I can't right now. I can't even I can't even answer that question right now. But
that's why I gotta ask. That's why I gotta ask, right?
Yeah, I know, man. Even my reaction just now, I wasn't expecting to get emotional. That wasn't. Yeah. I wasn't expecting that at all. But because I didn't feel it didn't really affect me. That one in particular didn't really affect me. It was just the memory of it. I mean, it clearly did affect me. I hadn't really unpacked it, I guess. But so anyway, yeah, that's what's been this past week has been that, and it was just a weird week. Yeah, I mean, I'm happy to say that I feel a ton better. I'm not still in it. I'm not still in it. So that's. And I've been figuring out how to manage that. I thought it would be a little easier to manage, but I thought meditation would just clear that out.
Right.
No, not quite easy.
Not quite.
No.
Well, Jess and I this week, we've started watching The PITT because everybody keeps telling us to watch The PITT,
mm-hmm,
which is,
I've heard of it, but yeah, I don't know anything about it.
It's an emergency room, and you work as an EMT, and one of our best friends, Patrice, works in an ICU, and she recommended it to us, and man, I'm watching it, and it's so stressful as a viewer, and they show things that I'm too delicate to watch. Jess and I are both covering our eyes. She's looking at me, and I'm sort of watching out of the corner of my eye to see when some part's over, and it's just it's too hard for me to even watch. Right. And at the end of every episode, I'm I don't know if I need to watch this show. This is stressful for me. I can recognize that it's good television, but it's a lot. It's a lot
Yeah.
for like our relaxing before bed.
Right.
And I think about you, and like at first, every time like somebody comes into the ER, they're the emergency workers are running in them, and I was like, "Oh, good job, Carlos." And and Jess is like, "Are you gonna say that every time?" And I was like, "No." But like, just I'm thinking about you and my other friends. I have relatives and friends that are nurses, and just like, man, geez, what a job! What a job! And like how you get through it and compartmentalize or decompress or just manage all that. It's beyond me. I don't know.
I think it's just exposure. I think the
Yeah.
more you're exposed to it, like the more desensitized you become to it. So yeah, I really think it's because like people are like on scene or like having conversations while
Right.
there's a dead person being resuscitated. You know what I mean? Or
Yeah.
attempted to be. And they're like light conversations. There's jokes, and like people
Yeah.
are just they're at work.
Right. Well, and you have to do that to
Yeah,
survive in that job.
yeah,
Like
for sure.
I don't know like if I'd like to think that I'm capable of something like that, but like I worked in a bird lab when I was in college. I think I talked about it before, and
Yeah.
we had to kill the birds at the end, and I ended up crying and calling my friend and being like,
I can't
I
do this.
can't do this. Like, and it wasn't just that, like other things were dying in
Right.
my life and stuff. So,
Right.
but it was just like, I was too delicate for such scenarios. So yeah, I mean, more power to you.
Yeah, thanks, man.
People that do your job and jobs like it, like, geez, working in hospice or something, like I'm in awe.
Well, I mean, to give you and everyone else credit though, like it's totally doable. Like if you like when you got to do something, you'll do it. You know what I mean? Whether
Yeah.
it's whether you think you can or not, like it's doable. It's just a matter of like, is it your bag? You know what I mean? Is it what you want to do?
Right.
So before we move on, and I don't know if this is going to be in the episode or not, but like, um, I guess I have to like apologize to you, dude. Like, I was distraught last night when I read that you're not writing anymore because I feel like I contributed to that by not ever commenting on your young adult novel that like I haven't finished yet. I'm not even very far in
Yeah.
it, to be honest, but it's really good, man. Like it's and I'm not like I would not gas you up for no fucking reason. I would like I can't believe you're not writing anymore, man. Like I can't believe it, and I hope that you start back up again because I was even telling Jody, like, I don't even have any fucking notes for him. Like, it's really, really easy to read. The characters are developed. They're believable. Like, I was enjoying it. Like, and I am enjoying it. I'm still going to finish it. Part of the problem for me, and this is not an excuse, I don't have a good reason to tell you why I haven't finished your book after like 8 months of reading it.
It's not a big deal.
Is whenever I open the app, like, it resets to the beginning. So I got to find where I'm at every single time.
Yeah.
And on top of that, my attention span is like fucking this. You know what I mean? And I haven't really read fiction in years, except for I read an Asimov book I think recently that I really enjoyed. But like I haven't been reading fiction. I don't have the attention span for fiction. And I know this is more than fiction. This is a friend's project that like I am committed to finishing. But dude, you need to start again because like I've multiple times reading this, man. I've been like, Skip just needs to send this off as is. Like I don't know where the story's gonna go, but so far I'm like, I don't have any notes for this guy. Like, I don't have any notes for this guy. It's an easy read, and the story's intriguing.
Yeah.
I don't think you should stop, man.
I don't know. I appreciate it, but like I've sent the thing off. I can't get a sniff of interest, and like I've done short stories, and like I've got nothing from anywhere. I spent a good chunk of last year like banging my head against the wall, and I put time into it. I put money into it. Like, I've got a friend that she was my writing partner, and she wrote a book of short stories, and I helped her like edit it and things like that, and gave her notes and stuff like that. And she's self-published it and she just recently sold out of all the books, and she's thinking about doing a second run and maybe another book. I mean, not like huge runs. It was like 300 books or something like that.
That's 300,
like,
man. Yeah.
It's awesome. It's great for her. But like, if she hadn't sold any, she'd still keep writing because it's just like, it's part of her. She's got to write. And like, I enjoyed it, but it's not like something that I'm driven to do constantly. And like, if it's not going to go anywhere, whether that's because of my skill or because it's just a really competitive industry or whatever, I don't need to just like beat my head against the wall.
Right.
So we'll see. I mean, like, there are parts, like, after you said that, I didn't respond, but I was like thinking about it. I woke up in the middle of the night thinking about it. And like, there are parts of me that's like, yeah, I really would have liked to have finished getting something out there. But like, I don't know. It's also not like an incredibly positive feeling.
Yeah. Well, that's the name of the game, though, man. You know,
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
you knew that going in, that like that
Oh, yeah.
rejection. I think On the Road, Jack Kerouac's On the Road was rejected like 50 times
Yeah.
before it became an American classic. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I don't know. It does matter whether you're living and breathing writing. I mean, that because you'll be less discouraged if you're like, well, I got to do this anyway. You know what I mean? But
that's
like,
the thing.
yeah, but like spending a year doing it and not seeing any results, to me, you're giving up before you have a chance to fail. You know what I mean? And even failing, dude, is like the wrong word, because it's there's a lot of it has to do with luck. You know what I mean? You're just like in the right moment and the right place at the right time. But anyway, I've said it, and I don't think I'm going to continue reading your book because I am enjoying it.
Well, I appreciate that.
I don't think you should stop. I think it's, I don't know. I think it'd be a mistake. I think you've come this far. I would stop throwing money at it. I don't know what money you've spent on it, but like I wouldn't spend any money. Just like keep writing.
I had like a copywriter read it, and I had somebody take professional notes on it. And I think I learned a lot of what I was going to learn from that experience.
Okay.
But also a lot of places, like to submit for contests or to submit for publication, a lot of times you have to pay 10, 20 bucks.
Oh, sure.
Bucks.
Yeah.
So it's just like, we'll see. I enjoyed it enough. I just, I also have other avenues that I'm interested in following and stuff to do. So we'll see.
And I'm not trying to make you feel bad about your decision to not continue pursuing a professional, writing career. I just want to point out that I think you're above average in writing. And I think it would be a shame to, in my opinion, to not continue because you're not seeing the results that you want as quickly as you want them. You know what I mean?
Well, not to be pompous, but I also think I'm above average as writing. I just don't know if that's good enough.
You know what though, man? I'm really glad to hear you say that, because my worry was like that you were kicking yourself, that you didn't think you were any good. Because as we both know, I guess, you are very good.
I might not think I'm like great, but above average, I feel like that's fair.
Yeah.
But
I don't mean it to be like a limp dick compliment.
Yeah.
Like I think you're a good writer. I think you're a very good writer.
But like, I don't know if that's good enough to make it as a writer. That's the thing. It's like, it's incredibly difficult, especially with like the publishing industry is getting squeezed real hard at the same time as there's more writers than ever.
Now there's AI
and now there's AI and stuff like that. It's just like, it's an exceedingly difficult lift.
Right.
And, if I spent a year like focusing on that solely, but I was writing before that. Like, it's not like I just tried for that time. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I feel comfortable that I shot my shot,
Right.
And I like put time into it. I put money into it. I sent out stuff, and if nothing happened, that's okay.
Okay. Well, I'll let that be then. I'm not going to twist your arm into rethinking your choices, but.
Well, I always rethink, but
Well, I was going to say also, like, for me, writing was, because I haven't been writing for years now at this point. And what I like I'm like your friend, whereas like, I have to write. Like, even though I haven't been writing for years, it's never left my mind. It's always on my mind to write. And for me, it was like meditation before I was meditating. You know what I mean? Like that's how I worked through a lot of stuff, because it's an exercise in thinking and problem solving and creating. And it's just like, I don't know, it always felt so good to write. And like I said, it's always on my mind. I still think about it. I still have this story in my head that I'm like, not even in my head, I've written hundreds of pages already.
Yeah.
That I don't have the organization right now to like get back to, but in addition to all the other things that I want to get back to, but I just want to win the fucking lottery, dude. If I could just win the lottery, I wouldn't have to do anything else.
Make it easier. Yeah.
I don't have to do anything else but my hobbies. And that's what I would like to do.
So each week, Carlos and I are allowed to bring in one item each, or maybe two small ones in some cases. And my item this week might end up being a little bit of a rant, but I don't know if you saw the video footage of Trump possibly pooping his pants.
Oh, I
last
saw
night.
I saw a meme about it, but I didn't see anything about it.
People are saying on the internet, they're saying he pooped his pants. No one's ever done it in the Oval Office before.
That's probably true.
Pooped his pants better than anyone's ever pooped their pants. No, but you're watching this video and like, there's just this, there's, of all of his crazies behind him, RFK and Kash Patel and stuff. Yeah. And he's like sitting in his chair, turning around to talk to them. And then you hear,
oh, you actually hear it?
It's audible. Yeah, it's audible. And like, there's like a notable reaction from some of the people around him. And then like, they end the thing. There's no questions. And they're like, everybody get out. Everybody get out.
That is so funny.
And like, people are saying he pooped his pants. Or Antifa pooped his pants, I guess.
Sure, it was an inside job.
But, this is so close to my dream of I had wanted him to poop his pants, like, on stage. And I've been saying this for a while, but I've wanted him to poop his pants on stage, and then immediately afterwards, like, that's when he expires, and it's just like the lasting legacy. The last thing that he does is poops his pants on stage, and I think we might be there, like close to there.
The signs are all pointing to we're here.
Yeah. I give him 50-50 on making it through the year as the president. Whether it's because the 25th article, I mean, he's getting pushback now from the Republicans, or dying because he's old and clearly not healthy.
Right.
But like, I give it like 50-50, and then I think we can blessedly be done with this government a la Kool-Aid Man, where they just make a decision and bust through a wall, and like things are done. And like, the thing you never think about in those commercials is like, there's a kid that's like, I was thirsty, but now there's a hole in my house. Like, you didn't help me. Like, you've made things immensely worse. Like, this was not worth it. Like, you gave a really simple answer to a very complicated problem and have destroyed everything in the process. So this government a la Kool-Aid Man, that's what I'm calling it, is, I don't think, like, if something happened to Trump, JD Vance, nobody likes him.
Yeah.
And
sure.
He's not going to be able to get away with the kind of shit.
No, nobody will. Yeah.
So it's the hope for America is that this, he falls asleep all the time. He's now pooping himself in meetings on TV. Like, we've got to be closing in on the end, because where they're going, I don't know if you've seen in the other news, is they're trying to delegitimize the midterm elections already. They're trying to take control. He wants to take control, and like, regardless of where you are on the political spectrum, the sitting leader of a country that has authoritarian tendencies taking over the voting process is not a good sign. It's sort of like the very last sign.
Yeah, and it is the very last sign, or at least one of them. But and it's normally done by the state, county, municipal authorities. Yeah, and he's trying to, like, quote unquote nationalize, or he's suggesting. He's not trying to do it because that implicates him into something nefarious, but he's asking his fellow Republicans to nationalize the voting process.
So not great, but if there's one shining silver lining of hope, it's the silver lining of Trump's diaper that is now filled with shit. Actually, it's probably gold line, but
It's probably silver at the very least.
So what's your piece of news?
Okay, so I've got two very quick ones, and they're not as heavy as yours. Well, one of them's a little sad, but one of them's very sad. But we have lost Catherine O'Hara, comic actress from Beetlejuice, from Schitt's Creek. She's been in a ton of stuff. She was in Home Alone.
Yeah.
Anyway, she died unexpectedly at 71, I believe. And yeah, that's it's especially sad because she was Canadian, and Canadians are just like, not half-staffed flag, but it's that sort of like, oh man, that sucks, because she was really sweet and she was hilarious.
She is so funny.
She's so funny, and yeah. Anyway, she passed away. I think.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I don't know what they were keeping it private. I guess I don't know why she died, but I don't think it was expected. So.
Well, we've been. I think I told you we've been rewatching Schitt's Creek with our oldest son or our older son that's living with us.
Yeah,
and she is just such a genius. Just like her elocution in that show, the way she speaks.
That's the funniest thing. Yeah.
It's just so funny, and like it's the scene where she's trying to do the advertisement for fruit wine is just like, it's like she has to say Herb Ertlinger, but she's drunk. And it's just like, it's hilarious. Birchtinder, Snarbinder. And it's like lived on in our house forever. And, it's just been such a joy. We were watching this show before she died. And it's just like, she was such a genius. She's one of those ladies that's been around in comedy forever, from back when people thought women couldn't be funny, just nailing it out of the park. And like, that show's just such a great show as well, because in a lot of shows, there's a lot of acerbicness. There's a lot of like bitterness, and they go to dark places for the humor. And the thing that I love about Schitt's Creek is that there's always that potential to do that, and they always stay funny, but they go towards the positive and the light. And it's such a nice show for that reason.
Yeah.
And we've realized that the older son, or David is our older son, and Alexis is our younger son. And it has given us no end of joy rewatching this with them, because
that's so funny.
With our older son, because it's hilarious.
I feel like I've asked you this before, but I can't remember your answer. And I'm going to see up my second one because we're going along in this already. But have you watched Ted Lasso?
No.
You need to watch it, man. If we're talking,
everybody says that. Yeah.
If we're talking positive stuff, like there's nothing more positive than Ted Lasso. It's so good. It's hilarious. Yeah, I highly recommend. And they're coming out with the season 4. They were supposed to end the series.
Yeah.
They're doing other seasons, but yeah, really, really good show.
We just don't have it. But I do want to go hit your last thing. You have on the list Wonder Man, real quick.
Okay, real quick. So I started watching Wonder Man. It's a Marvel joint.
Yeah.
And I started watching the first episode, and I was like, you know what? I bet you I can squeak this in under Jody's radar, and she'll watch it and she'll like it. And I did that, and we've watched 1.5 episodes so far. And she's like, I'm really liking this. I'm like, yes. It's not over the top yet, anyway, as far as like superhero stuff, but she's into it, and I'm enjoying it too. So
I think we've watched 5 episodes, and I think there's eight in the series, and we're really enjoying it. They're dynamic, between the two of them on the show. And for those who don't know, it's, oh gosh.
He has an unusual name.
Yeah, so it's and forgive me if I don't pronounce this right, but Yahya Abdul Mateen II and Ben Kingsley, Sir Ben Kingsley, and they are hilarious together. And it isn't a superhero show. It's a show that's in a superhero world, and it's very fun. And it's just like, when you've got those movies and stuff where it's like always about the end of the universe or the end of a timeline, to bring it back down to a smaller scale story that is, I feel like I don't know if you remember this movie or if you've seen it, but it feels like Sideways.
Oh yeah.
It's like
Two like a buddy movie. Yeah.
Yeah. It's two weird like buddies that are on like a journey together. Yeah. And it feels like that to me. So if it's nice, it's a nice, good entry into the MCU, I think.
Well, there's a lot of reference to like past Marvel stuff, but I will say about so Ben Kingsley's just fucking phenomenal as he is in anything he does.
Yeah.
And this Yaya guy, I'm not going to even try to say his name. I've seen him in a lot of stuff. And I was telling Jody, like, one of the things I like about him is that he is this big, muscular, hunky, handsome black man who just is an amazing actor who will, like, I don't know, man, his range is unlike a lot of people that I see. I think most people don't like when you're a big, hunky, handsome guy like that, you don't like make yourself a fool. And he kind of does, you know what I mean? And I really appreciate that he's like puts aside that ego and he actually acts. And he's a really, really good actor.
Yeah. Yeah. And you're right. He's able to do the superhero thing. He was also Dr. Manhattan.
Yeah.
And which
The Watchmen
was phenomenal.
Yeah.
But he's able to do the superhero thing. He's able to do, really deep stuff, and he's able to make a fool out of himself, and like it just wonderfully.
Yeah.
So,
all right. Well, we covered the comic stuff.
Yay! We've got to get it a little bit.
Well, Skip, are you ready to fall in love?
Always.
All right. Well, this is question 33 from 36 questions for falling in love, which is a New York Times article about 10 years ago, designed to get to for two people to get to know each other better. Like I said, question 33. If you were to die this evening with no opportunity to communicate with anyone, what would you most regret not having told someone? Why haven't you told them yet?
Gosh. So actually, I've kind of not looking forward at this, but on my laptop open is a letter, the beginning of a letter to my kids. And, not to bring it back to the PITT, but one of the characters talks about some simple things you can do to kind of come to terms with somebody dying. And this was sort of like the reverse of that. And the thing that they say on the show is I love you, thank you, I forgive you, and please forgive me, which covers a ton of bases.
Yeah.
And it's like a Hawaiian tradition, I guess. But it was sort of like that. It was sort of like me saying, I love you. I love being your dad. Now I'm getting like emotional. I wish I was a better dad a lot of the time. And I apologize, but like you're the greatest things that have ever happened to me. And I guess the reason I think I've said those things, but one of them's just about to turn 9 and the other one's just about to turn 15. And there's just like, they're not able to grasp some of the depth and emotionality of some of the things I want to convey. So I don't know. I mean, like, I would like to communicate with them, but there's some things that you really don't want to communicate in progress, I guess. Like, I remember when I was first taking over a course where I was teaching people to be English teachers. And the first course I said, like, I don't quite have everything like solidly locked down yet. I kind of admitted that. And I thought that was the right thing to do. But then at the end of the course, because I had said that, people's perception of the course was more negative than it would have been had I not said that. Yeah. And the second time I taught the course, well, I only had like a little bit more grasp because it was only the second time I taught it. I didn't say that. I felt that and I talked with other people about it, but I proceeded on the course differently and more confidently. And like people loved it. They loved the course. They thought it was perfect. And so like there's a certain extent to which you want to communicate with your kids, like your fallibility and the mistakes you're making, but not so much that it makes them like feel like you're failing as their parent as well. Yeah. And like it's a hard line to walk, I think.
Well, you're like a immovable support system for them. Yeah. And to admit that kind of vulnerability, just my sort of reflexive response to that is that like it maybe makes them doubt, like, oh, maybe he doesn't know the right thing, or maybe he doesn't know the answer, or he's not going to be able to help me if I need this. I understand what you're saying, and that's kind of where
yeah, I mean, like, I don't mind them questioning those things, but I also don't want to poison the well. And like, I've communicated those things, but I don't want to do it so extensively that like, I don't know, that it has a negative effect, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I've definitely already started putting down on not paper, but in Word file, which sounds dorky. But I definitely, I've got it open on my computer and it just says for my boys. And there's something I've got written that just says like, I'm sorry I wasn't the dad that you deserve because you guys are amazing. So that's fine.
Can I make a suggestion to you, man? Like,
yeah,
I mean, I know this is a deeply personal like endeavor, but like to me, I think like you could also be like, you know what? And this is what's going on with me right now in this period. You boys are already in your 20s, 30s, 40s now.
Yeah.
But when I wrote this is what my day to day was like. This is
Sure.
what your mom was doing. These are the things. This is what you were doing. Like these are the things that
Yeah.
were going on in my head when I loved you so much. You know what I mean? And
Right.
when I felt these things, and I don't know, man. To me, like that's when you're gone, and they're able to look back on that kind of thing. Be like, wow, like this was my dad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is what they were doing, and they really loved me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I've been intending to write more for a while on this
Mhm.
particular file, I guess.
Okay.
Very cool. Um, but yeah, I've been intending to write more and maybe to some other people and
Yeah.
just like I don't know, there's certain things that I guess I think can only be communicated from beyond sometimes. Like
Yeah.
you can try your best, but there's some things that like and I will talk with them more, especially as they get older.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
And but I don't know, there's certain things that are just impossible to get across that you need on paper that you can return to again and again, and
Yeah.
the message changes over the years as you change.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And that's the thing. That's the thing that I haven't said, I guess. What about you?
Well, there's not a lot of things that I feel like I haven't communicated to people because I've been really good. I wouldn't just say like recently. I'd say most of my life when someone means something to me, I tell them, and I
Mhm.
generally have. I've generally done that. The first thing that popped in my head is the man who passed away in December.
Yeah.
I've been meaning to, and I even told my mom was like, "You need to write his wife a message." I'm like, "I'm going to," and then she brought it up again. I'm like, "Don't pressure me. Like, I'm going to do this when I'm ready to do it because I want her to know. I want her children to know what he meant to me, what they meant to me, and like how important it was, and
Mhm.
he was, and they were, and I haven't done it yet. It's been almost 2 months now. And I think about it pretty much every day, like, fuck, I need to sit down and I need to write it out. But it's like, it's going to hurt. You know what I mean? And it's going to
Yeah.
suck. And like, it's going to ruin my day, but it's going to affect my day. I definitely don't want to do it on a work day. And I haven't done it yet. And the reason I haven't is because I know it's just I won't be able to ignore like those feelings. You know what I mean? And right now I'm just kind of like, tomorrow I'll do it. And I want to do it. It's not like I don't want to do it. I do. It's just like, how do you injure yourself? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's why I haven't done it. That's what I have. I don't regret not doing it because I haven't not done it.
Mhm.
I haven't not done it, but and I have one more, I guess, and that's like my dad. Like I guess I've told my dad how I feel. He's told me how he feels, but like I don't know. There's always unfinished business with certain people, and with my
Yeah.
dad, that's definitely it. And my dad's like got one foot out the door. Like he's not well, and I'm like, and I know that. I'm fully aware of it. Do I have intentions of writing out my thoughts to him? No, I don't even have an intention to do it.
Yeah.
And like that's something I need to unpack about myself as well because I'm like, I don't know, man. Like I've said it before, it wasn't a fantastic childhood, and
Right.
as a direct response to his actions. And it's not that I'm like torturing him or like getting revenge by like withholding, but it's just like, fuck, man. Like I don't want to. Like I don't really want to.
Right.
Like and it's not. I shouldn't have to. You know what I mean? Like, but
No, and you don't have to. It's not
I
something that you
don't.
owe. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's it. And I just it does cross my mind from time to time, and I know when he's gone, I'm gonna be like, ah, fuck, I should have just written him a letter, or I should have just like said something to him. But again, it's like one of those things that I don't want to. I don't want to, and I don't know I don't know how else to
Yeah.
describe that.
What is it that I mean, if you don't mind me asking, what is it that you would want to say?
Well, and it's not stuff that I haven't said to him before. I guess it's
Right.
just it feels unfinished, and that's that
Yeah.
in the times in the healthy times of it, and he's like physically healthy and mentally healthy. He's apologized to me, and I'm sure to my
Yeah.
sisters, but he's like for like wrecking our lives and the family and all that stuff. And the things that I've told him, I was like, hey man, it's like you. And I know it impacted him. I told him that you're just a man, and you fucked up. And I mean, I didn't use those words. I was a little more
Yeah.
eloquent, but like um, that you're just a man like I am. And I offered him grace, and Yeah, I mean, I guess I've said everything I need to say to him. It just feels unfinished to me. But I've essentially forgiven him, and I told him like, get it out of your head, man. Like, stop living there because you're not going to move forward. And I don't know that he ever really has, but like, I mean, he lost everything, but out of his own grasp. And I told him just like, let it go, like because we're all 1,000 miles ahead of you. Like we left you behind, and you're still there, like kind of splashing around in your own muck. Like get up and get out of it because you're the only one there. And that's essentially it. I mean, and I think he knows that. I expressed that to him, and I guess I'm rambling here, but the bottom line was I told him that you're as human as the next person, and like I get that, and I get it now. I might not have when I was a teenager or when I was a kid, but like I get it now. I see it now, and it's fine. But anyway, but like I said, I don't. It still feels unfinished for some reason. Something's not completed. Sure. And I haven't really unpacked it. I haven't really analyzed it, and I don't really care to. Yeah, so I don't know. That's an open question for me still. Like that's an unanswered question for me. Period.
Period.
End of answer. All right, Skip. Well, we are right in the beginning of Black History Month, and you suggested, and I completely agree, it's a really good idea to bring in our old. It's an article called White Privilege, Unpacking the Invisible Knapsacks by Peggy McIntosh. And it's just a list of items that she put together when she was thinking about feminism and how skewed she was looking at through this lens because there's an element of race that she hadn't considered at all. So anyway, she put together I think it's a list of 50 statements regarding race. It's been taught in schools ever since. This was in like 89 or 88 or something like that. So we went through a few of them quite some time ago. But because, again, this is Black History Month, we thought it would be worthwhile to bring up again. So we're going to jump to statement 7, and we'll just have a quick discussion about it because we have gone quite long today. But the statement is, I can be sure that my children will be given curricular materials that testify to the existence of their race. What do you think that means?
Well, I think it means more than, well, for one, just that their race exists in history, because a lot of history really does kind of ignore minorities or they're a footnote, So I remember in high school, for instance, being taught that the Civil War was more than about slavery. And like, if you actually look at the articles of like the Confederacy and the reasons that they state, it was about slavery. It was that was a narrative that came about later, and it made it much more about white people disagreeing and kind of eliminate. It was an effort to decentralize slavery and extract that whole Black experience from these poor Southern white people that just had a disagreement about something. But beyond that, in our history, we've got Chinese Americans building the railroads and things like that. And there's all kinds of stuff in our history that more and more over time, as people get their way, gets erased. And, I think to bring it back to the dorkdom that we enjoy so much, it's really important to see that representation. Like when you were talking about Namor showing up in Black Panther 2 and Tenek Huerte was there, like you said, you had like a visceral reaction to.
I did, yeah.
Yeah. And like, why is that important? Explain it to us,
Well, yeah, as I said in the last episode, it was completely unexpected. One, like they reimagined the character. And Namor's just a white guy with like black hair and pointy ears in the comic books. But in this one, he was like indigenous Mexican, and specifically of like Aztec, or I hate mixing these up, but Aztec or Mayan culture. I'm not quite sure which. I think probably Aztec. And it was just a beautiful reimagining of the characters. But people get pissed off by that kind of thing. So to answer your question, it was I had a visceral response to it because it was something that I identify with. Like I took a DNA test, man, and I'm like 20% indigenous Mexican. I had no idea. I knew there was some like blood in me, but I didn't realize it was such a big amount. And that's not. I watched Black Panther 2 way before I knew that, but like just culturally, you just don't see that such a huge presence of a culture that I don't even identify as Aztec or anything like that. But like, it's just to see it on screen was like, I don't know, man. I even now I can't describe it, but yeah, people have a really, really negative response. And even like when we were talking about Wonder Man and staying with Marvel here,
Yeah.
in the comic books, Wonder Man's a white guy.
Right.
And in the TV show, he's a black guy. And I don't know what the response has been to that. I think people have just kind of given up, maybe. I don't, I don't know. But in the past, people get really pissed off when they switch out like a white character with like somebody of color. It's like, that means so much to people who all they see are white folks, whether they're men or women, on screen and on TV. Before you says anything, also I'm jumping from another topic here, but there was and I may have said it before, a book called The Bluest Eye by Toni Morrison. You ever read any Toni Morrison?
No.
Dude, like Toni Morrison is one of the best writers, I mean, uncontestedly, I've ever read. And in The Bluest Eye, she talks about that very thing where the central character, she's a little girl, a little quote unquote ugly black girl who's picked on by less black girls even.
Mm-hmm.
And she touches on that as well. And all she sees are like magazine pictures and billboards of like Shirley Temple. And she says, and she's got family trouble, like sexual abuse and all kinds of stuff going on at home. And her thing is like, if I just had blue eyes, I would be pretty and my life would be different. Like she kind of internalizes all that. If I just had blue eyes, like things would be different. And that's it. That's it right there.
Yeah.
I mean, not be represented, and not just to be not represented, to have internalized what beauty is. So much so to say this one thing that I am not, if I could just be that, it would change everything for me. That's why I was happy that Namor was not just this white guy, or that Wonder Man is not a white guy.
Yeah.
Not that they're not great characters as white. I mean, who gives a shit? But like to see them representing other people is what it means for those individuals is it means so much, man. Like it's such a big deal for those groups.
Well, and I think it, like in those cases, it adds dimensions of depth to the character and how they interact with things. But like returning back to a couple things you said, like the black girl that wanted blue eyes, like it makes me think about like dolls for a long time. There's like big psychological things. Dolls were like the representative of beauty. And there's like really sad studies from the past before they had black baby dolls and things like this, where they would force children and little girls mostly they'd have a black baby doll and a white baby doll to choose which one was prettier. And the black children would choose the white baby doll, and they'd be crying because they realized which one they looked like. So like having that representation and being represented just as an individual. And like you think about it when it comes to, we're talking, to return back to the original topic, which is like in curriculum and stuff, to just say like your people, your ancestors were also present and important in these times, and they had a role to play. You're not just like erased from history. Like that's tremendously important. And even bringing back to like where we were talking with Dr. PITT about a few things, and like, some of the programs that they're bringing out to meet men and young men kind of where they are, whether it's in barbershops or bringing men into the classroom so that little boys can see that men can teach and things like that. It's just really important to like have those presences so that people can, see that more is possible. If you never learn about a black scientist, it's hard to imagine yourself as a black scientist, and there were black scientists. It's important to have those possibilities available to you, I think, and white people don't understand that because we've got it all. We've got it all,
and we don't want to give any of it up. Like even further, like there's, again, going back to movies, which is like as topical as I can get, I guess. But the new Odyssey movie that's coming out, apparently, what's her face? Lupita Nyong'o. She's Kenyan Mexican. She's going to play Helen of Troy, I believe is what I keep saying. I mean, she's a black woman. And I had seen somebody, or not somebody, I think it was Elon Musk, who was like, the director has lost touch with reality, or he's betrayed. Like Homer would be disgusted. I'm like, are you serious? Like, because she's a black woman? Like that's all that because she's not like a blue-eyed or who knows what Helen of Troy would have looked like if she even existed. But like, yeah, I mean, this woman's beautiful. She's a gorgeous woman. She's a fine actress.
She's gorgeous, yeah.
And yeah, I mean, she could be worth fighting wars over, I suppose. Like, why is anybody that beautiful that the wars are going to be started over? I mean, that's wild that like just because she's a black woman that like this is disgusting and this is yeah, I don't know, your racism showing, Elon. It's not that it wasn't before, but yeah, I don't know, man. To have a black woman as Helena Troy, like it's everything we've been discussing is only positive, I think, unless you're a racist.
Well, and I think part of it goes back to what we always talk about, which is the manosphere. And the manosphere has this zero-sum mentality where anybody else getting anything is you losing. And it's just not like that. It's just not like that. Somebody else having history doesn't mean that white people don't have history anymore. It doesn't mean that our history isn't important. It's just also saying like other people existed and did things. And it's good to learn about them. And people lost their fucking mind when you had to when people tried to say this is a good idea, that to acknowledge that other people existed and had different perspectives and different experiences. And like that was what critical race theory was about. And like the right lost their fucking minds. I mean, they were like outlawing it. And it's just like you're literally outlawing the possibility that other people had history, which is crazy.
Yeah. Well, it's an inability to recognize or an unwillingness to recognize also that part of your group's success was at the expense of another group. That's it.
Yeah.
It's not saying that you're an asshole. It's just saying that like your ancestors benefited.
We're assholes a little bit.
We're assholes. That's it. Not you.
Yeah.
You could be fine. You can change all that right now. Like it's not. We're not talking about you. We're just saying that this other group was kind of pooped on a little bit, and that's why you're enjoying this success. That's it.
But by fighting against that, you are continuing your grand tradition of being an asshole.
Yeah. And no one's taking anything away from you by recasting Wonder Man as a black guy, for example. Like you're still fine. You're still going to get a job. You're still going to find work. Like it's not like you're taking away from this poor white guy that can't get a job. Like,
well, it makes me think of, again, bringing it back to some stuff we were talking to Dr. PITT about. He was talking about meritocracy and like when your identity is threatened. And I think that's what people feel like white people and men in the manosphere, they feel like their identity is being threatened by other people getting stuff. And it's like, it's not taking away from you. It's not taking away from you to let other people have a seat at the table. Yeah. It's like there's this huge buffet, an infinite buffet of stuff. And somebody's sitting down there, you're like, that guy's going to eat all my shit. It's like, no, he's not. There's tons of stuff. Like there's literally millions of superheroes. It's going to be fine if one of them's black. Like,
yeah. It reminds me of my two male dogs and how like they're constantly bullying each other. One of them is bullying the other one more than the other, but like we have 3 separate bowls for them so that they don't so there's plenty of food. And one of the male dogs will be eating at one and the other one is just like standing there over his shoulder, menacing him. And the moment he moves, he dives in and eats from that bowl. It's like, no, I got to have that one. Even when they're not hungry, they're just like, no, if he's eating, I'm going to be there to eat right behind him, make sure he knows that I'm here and that he's not going to get what's mine. You know what I mean? It's funny. Yeah. Reduce it all to little animals that are just responding on a sense of lack for some reason.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty fitting analogy.
Well, that is White Privilege, Unpacking the Invisible Knapsack. There are quite a few more, and we'll get into them, I think, maybe all month, I guess. We got some time.
Yeah, sounds good. Yeah, we missed the first week, but we'll get the rest. Well, Carlos, it's time for my very favorite part of the show. What's your joy of the week?
My joy of the week is I have not watched Saturday Night Live in a very, very long time, but it was on TV at one of the stations the other night. Or I guess it was Sunday night. And I saw a couple of skits and they are lampooning politically in a very aggressive and hilarious way. And there was one skit that I've looked because I really want to share it with the world, but I can't find it. All I find are people who are summarizing the skit. It was of and I'll be very brief about it, but it brought me so much joy because it's so funny and so relevant, just in my family even. It was a like a mother and father and their kids had come home from college or whatever, and they were going to go for dinner, and their mother was going to make a big announcement before, and she was like prefacing it with, "Don't react, like this is a big deal, but like don't say anything, don't look at me like this. I do not want you to respond to this." And she like with pain, very very slowly said, "I think that possibly maybe I was wrong about Trump." and it was this long, difficult admission that I think he might be bad for the country. And the kids, of course, like blew up. And she just kept going on. It was so fucking funny and so relevant because that's like I kind of think that's where my mom is at too. And I don't know that her ego will allow her to admit it to us. But like, dude, that skit, even going deeper into it when she was saying like, I still think he's a great businessman. She's like, I just don't think he's a good president. And I can totally see my mom saying something like that. Just not willing to completely submit, but say, but yeah, okay, no, you're right about this, but the rest of it, no. It was really, 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 really funny. And as soon as I can find it up on YouTube, I'll see if we can connect it. I imagine at some point it will be, but I guess it's just too new right now, but it's hilarious. So that has brought me a lot of joy. I can't wait to gently submit it to maybe my mother, but definitely to my sisters. They'll enjoy it.
You remind me of like my wife. They've got a family chat with the whole family, but they've also got a sibling chat where they talk about like dad's crazy and like when like I want him to say something, but I'm terrified for him to say something. You know, like
that's so funny.
Yeah.
Well, what about you? Any joys this week? I'm sure you do.
I got joys. So one joy is that I am in the process, and I've already started booking some of it, but we're going on a family trip to Romania, and we're going to go all around Romania. We're going to take a train there and then rent a car and drive around. And we're hoping to do some free camping because it's not legal in a lot of places, but Romania is one of them. And they do have wolves and bears, so we're going to be careful. But we're hoping also to just go on some really nice hikes, see Bucharest, see Dracula's castle, like have a good time. And I remember like when I got here, 20 years ago, it's like the idea of going to Romania was like, oh my God, you're going to go to Romania. It might be a little, but I've always wanted to go. And so now we're going to go as a family. It's going to be fun. And the second thing was just last night, I was just watching TV on the couch with my wife. And it was like one of those moments where you just can't get close enough to someone. And I felt like, I was like, man, I love her so much. And I was just thinking about like, we were watching something, the PITT probably. And I was just thinking about how much I love her and how much I'm helping my son study for his matriculation exam because there's a thing here in the Czech Republic. And I've been helping him study every day. And been spending a lot of time with my younger kid, just doing stuff. And like, just really satisfied with my family and like loving them. And, there's plenty of things in the world that are completely shit, but like, really, really happy with, our household. And that's nice, that's really nice. Yeah. So that was my biggest joy.
Oh man, that's like the best joy you could be articulating right now, I think. Yeah. Being satisfied at home with your family, that's fucking, you can't hope for a better joy.
Yeah.
I wish I had that. No, I'm just kidding.
You just get your asshole dogs.
I just got my shitty dogs. No, but it's funny you say that because Jody and I, we have moments like that all the time where we're like, oh man, I'm just feeling so much love for her. And even I was joking about the dogs, but even the dogs, like, man, I can't wait to get home and just like sit and have the dogs clobber me. Like, I can't wait for that. And I'll send her the text and I'll tell her that, and she'll send me a text with the same sort of sentiment. And yeah, it's nice. It's really, I'm glad to have that. And it's not everyone has those feelings towards their partner or towards their home life. You know what I mean? It's
for sure.
We're lucky, Skip.
Yeah, no, and even with the dog, like you said, like I do physical therapy exercises like 3. I'm supposed to do 4, but it's hard to do 4 times a day. But like 3 times a day, and the dog knows when she sees me heading for the mat, she like comes over and she makes it difficult. Like she lays, like I lay down on my stomach first because you do cobras, and she like lays her head on my back and like waiting for me to pet her over my shoulder. So we have our like designated cuddling and petting time, which is also really lovely. Yeah.
That's all I got.
That's all I got too.
Your joy was so much better than mine.
No, I liked yours. I want to see the thing. Your joy, like that SNL video, that's the thing with SNL now, right? And all these things is like the parody is just, it's not even a parody. Like it's like reality. Like that's happening in some car. They're not even like writing. They're just like, this is a story that my cousin told me, and we're just gonna put it on air.
Oh, so the intro, you know, the live from Saturday night, or live from New York. Their intro skit was what's his face, Tom Homan, addressing like a room full of ICE agents, and all the ICE agents were like dumb, and they didn't know why they were there. He's like, "Why are you here?" And one guy raises his hand. He's like, "Oh, this could be wrong, but to just wild out." And they're like, "No, that's not the reason why you're here." Yeah, it was really, really funny. I was
Spring break, Minnesota. Minnesota.
Yeah, I was really, really happy to see like how relevant and just fucking sharp the comedy was. It's been so long since I've watched Saturday Night Live. I didn't think they were doing that, but yeah, they totally were.
Thank you so much for joining us. New podcasts every Wednesday. And if any part of this show has resonated with you, let us know at outsidethemanosphere@gmail.com. You can also reach us on Instagram, Facebook, and now YouTube. Please like, rate, subscribe to the podcast YouTube channel, or recommend us to a friend. We hope you'll come back. Have a good one.
Bye-bye now.